Hey there, everyone. For those of you who don't know me, my name's Dave Saunders, and I am very lucky today to be joined by David Ronkowski. David, you're a business engineer. You coach various organisations and leadership. You've worked with some really substantial, really big teams and some really, really well-known brands to help their businesses grow, and particularly to help them grow through developing their people. And today you and I are going to have a conversation about something that's very, very near and dear to my heart and an area of your expertise, and that is around decision-making. And decision-making is really, really important at the moment because we're in really uncertain times. So I've got three very big, difficult questions that we're going to answer really, really quickly. Are you ready?
Okay. Yeah, I'll do my best.
Fantastic. First question, how can a business leader recognize, how can someone know when they are under the pump and they're not making good decisions? How can they recognize that in themselves?
I think if it's a bad decision, it may be obvious in the outcomes. I think understand decision making. What you want is you want somebody to make a timely, informed decision. Some people procrastinate and delay them, which is damaging, and some people just don't make a decision at all, which is a decision in itself. They just don't contribute towards it. But recognizing it, which is the key part of that question, are the signs that can help them with that. And it may be around too many options. It may be around stress. It may be the fear of getting a perfect outcome. It may be the fear of failure. It can be the size of the impact and the longevity of the ramifications. So there's a number of things that trigger concerns that you can maybe look out for.
Yeah, certainly those fears are a big one, eh? It's and particularly in businesses that are run by one person or where there's one person who feels they need to be making all of the decisions. At least in my experience.
Yep.
So when in business, when you see poor decision makings, what tends to be the knock-on effects? How does that play out?
That can be all sorts of sizes. It depends on the consequences, the impacts of that, and the ramifications for that. Is it out in 2 minutes, or is it a couple of weeks, or is it going to be with you for a good few years?
Sure.
I think like a small business that's making big decisions, so it might be a sole trader or somebody with just a few staff, that could be the end of their dreams. That could be financial impact on their houses. That could be all sorts of things. On the larger companies, I think where they can be absorbed a little more, I think that can have a significant impact still on your customers, on your image and brand, on your shareholders, on your employees especially. So there's all things. But I think irrespective, it's your personal brand. You're making decisions, okay? You're accountable for that, right?
Yeah.
And if you're slow in making those decisions, or you make bad decisions, or you just don't make a decision, that personal brand will be with you for a long time.
Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. And look, probably the most important question I'm going to ask you this today, David, what can an individual or someone in a leadership role, what can they do, particularly in these uncertain times when they're under pressure, what can they do to make better decisions?
I think personally, I'm a bit of a list guy, okay? So, I mean, I put a model together, and I think so long as you go through that, it becomes part of who you are anyway when you're making these decisions, especially the bigger ones. A lot of smaller ones you can just make automated or whatever. Sure. So that can be around challenging those decisions. So if I come to you and I say, I want an answer by lunchtime, is it A or B? Then you can say, well, why do you need it by lunchtime? And is there a D or a Z? And tell me the outcome you're after, because actually maybe you're asking me the wrong question.
Yeah.
Are you the right person? Could other people do this? I mean, look at your decisioning tree within your organization. If you're a bottleneck and it's all coming through you, are other people got the information and can they manage that? What does failure look like? So what will that look like? Can you de-risk that? Can you chunk it up into smaller bites and manage that and monitor it? And I think, again, collaboration, it's all about accountability. I'm accountable for decisions, right?
Yeah.
It's not a democracy, but I'm value contributions. Bring me the information and I'll try and make the best decision I can do. I think at the end of the day, the best advice is when you 80-20 rule, if it's good enough, make a decision. Just make the decision, right? And then the final point is communicate that effectively. Because if you've been through all this soul searching and you've got all this information, you've done all this stuff, and then you misinform people or people don't get it,
Yes.
then it's all going to go to custard anyway.
We could talk for hours on communication, but look, that's going to have to wait until next time, I'm afraid. Hey, if people do want to get hold of you, because this is a really, really important subject, hopefully by the powers of technology, I've put your details up on the screen, and you're happy just to have a conversation with someone if they do want to get in touch.
Absolutely, yeah. Just give me a call, drop me an email. Happy to talk about this on a number of other subjects.
Yeah, well, like I say, this is an area that I'm personally really passionate about, and I see an awful lot of businesses do really, really badly. So if you are out there feeling under the pump, by all means, I encourage you to get in touch with David. And David, once again, thank you very, very much for joining me today. Really appreciate your input. Thank you.
Thanks for the opportunity, Dave. Cheers,
Cheers.
man.